You know, it's the off season, and one thing I enjoy more than anything, it's hard to beat coming home to my playground. This is my sandbox, and when I'm playing in the sandbox, it's hard to beat the aluminum rig. Just going out there, having fun, not worrying about it. It's easy to trailer. You're not worried about beating anything up, and just catching fish. An aluminum boat in general, it's bulletproof. It's simple, it's a real light boat. It's easy to travel with, it's easy to trailer, it's easy to back in and ramps. It takes a lot less time, you know, when you're just getting it in and out of the garage. So when you want to go out for a quick afternoon or fishing or something, it's a lot easier to just hook up to the boat and take it to the water. But a must-have is you gotta have a bulletproof trolling motor. You know, you're going through the mud, you're going through grass, through stumps, it doesn't matter. I actually put the Ultrex on it this year. I stepped up, I went with the 36 volt, the 112, just because I fish a lot of current when I'm fishing during the fall. I'm really focusing on the rivers and getting upstream. And I've had the 80-pound thrust a lot of times, but the 112, it's really gonna be able to excel and push you up current. It is a little overkill sometimes, but hey, it's America. It's what we do. And I'm actually setting it up with 2 Helix 10s. I got side scan and everything on there. You know, you really just need the basic graphs. You really don't need much graphs. A lot of times I'll just run one graph. You just want something with GPS and a little bit of sonar sometimes. And when I'm fishing during the fall, I grab my rod tip, and if I can't hit the bottom, we're a little too deep. And to the meat and potatoes of the boat, or what I like to call it, listen, you gotta have shallow water anchors. And with the 8-foot Talons, they're absolutely perfect for the aluminum boat. They're not too heavy. They're great, stable brackets. But the TH hydraulic jack plate, you're always fishing shallow water, especially here in South Carolina in the South. When we're fishing around stumps, we're fishing flats, a hydraulic jack plate is a must, whether you're pushing into areas or you're getting on pad in real shallow water. And with the 90 Yamaha show, that little dude, that's a bad dude. That right there, it's actually, this is a G3 and it comes with a 21-gallon gas tank. I mean, you can go over 100 miles range with this setup right here. And one of my favorite things that I've done with this boat is, you know, when you're fishing an aluminum boat, you're fishing shallow and you want to stay as light as you possibly can. With one of my favorite things is I actually rigged the boat with 4 Group 31 RB100 lithium batteries. They're Rely-on batteries. Absolutely great, phenomenal batteries. It's a Group 31 and it only weighs 31 pounds a piece. So when you're running that bigger trolling motor, it really helps cutting down about 120 pounds of weight out of the rear end of the boat, which really helps the flotation and the draftability of the boat as a whole. You know, the great thing about fishing in aluminum boats nowadays, you know, back in the day, 5-10 years ago, they weren't really making aluminum boats the way they do now. They weren't putting the inside hull to them, basically. They were just basically the bottom hull. It was just a shell. But nowadays, they're putting all these great decks on it, and the amount of storage you can actually have, it's a very equivalent to a bass boat. That's how they're laid up, where we have the recessed foot pan for the trolling motor. And actually, I try not to carry too much tackle traditionally when I'm fishing out of aluminum boat, because you know what you're gonna do, and you go do your couple favorite things, but you actually have plenty of room for storage. I've got all my lure lock tackle boxes in there, and it'll surprise you how much you can fit in here. You can put more than you need a lot of times. It's got a rod locker. I've got probably 8 rods on deck right now. It makes you forget that you're actually fishing out of aluminum boat. It makes me think that I'm back in the Falcon and you're fishing big water, but the luxury of fishing in aluminum nowadays, they've updated the specs of them so much that it's very equivalent, where sometimes you may not need a bass boat, or a boat is just a tool. It's just like a wrench, you know, you have to have a 1/2 inch and a 9/16, and basically that's what boats are for me. You know, I have my Falcon, my Falcon bass boat, which is my main rig. I mean, that's a 10mm socket. You always need it, but it's hard to beat the old flathead screwdriver right here. From the weekend guy to the professional, aluminum boats have everything to offer, from the affordability to the versatility. They're such a great tool to have in your arsenal, and you'll always catch yourself having fun.